What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the debut full-length album by electronic duo The Knocks. It's called 55. Now before we get into today's review, just wanted to alert you of a collab video that I did. You can click the annotations floating right around up here. I did the collaboration with Paige Backstage. She's an up-and-coming YouTuber. It's a discussion video that I think you guys are really gonna enjoy, kind of about nostalgia versus modern technology and music, like the way things used to be versus now. So either click the link in the description down below or else click the annotation on screen, and be sure to check out Paige's channel, which I will link in the description down below. She's closing in on 1,000 subscribers. Let's get her there. The Knocks have been at it for a few years now. I've heard their remixes of songs like Girls by the 1975, a couple of other standouts like All That by Carly Rae Jepsen, and then in turn, it's nice to see some of the people that they were remixing appearing on their full-length record. And Love Me Like That is the track in question with Carly Rae, the one that was really getting the buzz, and that was the first song that I truly heard off of this full length. It totally slipped my radar that this was coming out. Initially, I wasn't that impressed with Love Me Like That, but as it sat with me, it kind of ruminated. I let it sit on the tip of the tongue, and I was like, you know what, this is actually starting to taste a lot better. There's a lot more here, and I feel like what I appreciate with just the Knocks in general is the fact that they have an alternative approach to like electronic and dance music. Yes, there are some big beats worked in all throughout the record, but at the heart of it, at its core, there are still drum rhythms, there's still bass lines that you can pick out, played on an actual bass guitar, and regular guitar rhythms as well. It's nice that these songs just shape up with such a well-rounded structure. The Knocks lined up a star-studded cast for this record, and for a relatively unknown duo, I'd say that they got some pretty impressive names. They're currently signed to Big Beat Records, so that probably helped, but a lot of music from the alternative world, a lot of guests from the alternative world, featuring Magic Man, X-Ambassadors, Walk the Moon, and then others like Cameron, Wyclef Jean, Carly Rae Jepsen, like I already mentioned. I'd say it's pretty hard to impress me in terms of electronic and dance-leaning albums these days, but the Knocks, especially with repeated listens, they're really showing me that there's something that you can kind of dig your claws into and let it sit with you over time. There's a lot of fun and almost soulful tracks on here. There's a lot of life, and it's very invigorating. Now, this record kicks off on a kind of strange note with that Cameron track that I was talking about. It's called New York City, and it's talking about a description of like watching the towers go down, calling back to 9/11, a very tragic event. It was really just an eye-opener in terms of like, I didn't see that coming. You don't expect to see that on an album like this, the lyrical content, and I can't say that it's one of my favorites, but I appreciate it for what it is. It does a good job of at least kind of opening things up. It's a good intro track, and then we flow into the song Time, which is a little bit more of that soulful affectation like I was talking about. Just a good female presence on the track, a big soaring hook, really sets the tone for what's to come on 55. Now, I don't feel like I need to go into super detail breaking down every aspect of this record, but I'm going to talk about what I like in general and then highlight a few of my favorites, some of the biggest standouts. You probably remember me mentioning something about the songs feeling really fleshed out, really loving the instrumentation, the wide array of it that they used here to make these songs just sound great. And while not every single song does hit home like that, there's definitely some ones that fall a little bit more flat in my opinion, like Collect My Love with Alex Newell, and even Dancing With Myself, although that track definitely is growing on me. But for the most part, there are very few misses on the record. It's one of the ones that you can throw on in the car and just vibe to. I like how they get a little bit weirder on some of the tracks, like Comfortable with X-Ambassadors. I was not a fan of their record as a whole, but I really enjoy their presence here. The vocalist and just the tension that this track brings, it's very brooding. There's like a dark synth line here, and it feels like it's building up. In the lyrical content, it's just like a dark night and you're with your love and like it's about to go down. You can feel it in the air, and there's tension that you can cut with a knife. And this track does a great job of bringing that scene to life. Peppiness comes in the form of several different tracks here, like Cinderella with Magic Man, which is just an upbeat, fun romp. It's just a blast of a song. The chorus sticks like glue. The key is another one that just really is hitting home for me and resonating, especially with repeated listens. I love the chorus on it. It's just one of those things where the synthesizers line up perfectly and it sounds like one of these songs that I could see myself dancing to when I get drunk, and that's never necessarily a bad thing at all. They pitch shift the vocals on that one and drop them down low just like they're talking about pick it up, drop it, and they drop the vocals and I'm like, that's genius, it works. Justin Tranter's feature on Tied to You is another track that's just really clinging to me. It's one of those ones that has the echoed vocals and the chorus, and it just has a big stomping drum rhythm that goes all throughout the song. It's got a nice build and a big payoff as well, so no complaints there. You know, build-ups are great and all, but I love it whenever danceable songs can also just kind of have a smooth ride into the chorus, and I think the Knocks did a great job on at least two of the songs in particular I really want to highlight, one of those being I Wish, parentheses, Taylor Swift, which is lyrically, yeah, very silly, but at the same time, it sounds great. And then on the track with Phoebe Ryan, Purple Eyes. I like that track. It has a kind of a build-up going on, and then these spacey synthesizers flying around in the background, and then just kind of a cool and cooing chorus from Phoebe, and it sounds phenomenal. I think both vocalists did a great job there. Unexpected surprise came in the form of Kiss the Sky with Wyclef Jean. I'd never really been a fan of him in the past. I had obviously heard the big feature Hips Don't Lie, his big hit that he was on with Shakira back in like 2006, and his obvious catchphrase, no fighting, and you hear that pop up at the beginning of Kiss the Sky, and I'm thinking, oh god, we're getting some sort of gimmick of a track, facepalm now, but it really took me by surprise. Like I said, it's one of those tracks that has a really unique vocal presence on it. It's just a weird delivery style. It starts off very quick, he's firing away, and then things simplify a bit whenever the chorus rolls around. I'm also enjoying the track with Walk the Moon, although I'm seeing a pattern forming here. Nick Petrica, vocalist of Walk the Moon, finale with Madian, and Best for Last. What are you trying to say? Are you going away or something? Ironic enough that I'm saving the best for last, and no, it's not the track with Walk the Moon, but there's two versions of this song. You guessed it. Classic, featuring the indie pop duo Powers, and a remix including Fetty Wap, which I know might sound terrible whenever I'm saying it or seeing it on paper or on iTunes, wherever you saw the track listing at. But trust me, this song kills. I love both versions of this song so much. It reminds me of Nile Rodgers of Chic and the guitar department so much. If you like Get Lucky, you'll probably really dig the groove that's going on here with the guitar, the thumping bass line, which is just so rich and organic. It's real instruments just playing a very danceable summer groove. This is gonna be my song all summer long. I can tell now. The original version is fantastic. I love Powers on the vocals. Very nice female vocals that just really add a certain richness and a really sweet feeling to the track that I absolutely adore. And then Fetty Wap comes in and he gives it a very tropical flavor. He does a great job here. He manages to keep his mouth shut about 1738, Remy Boys, everything like that. Nothing about his trap queen. It's all fitting with the flow of the song, and I have to say that they both knock it out of the park. The Knocks did a great job on the production, of course, bringing in two very talented vocal guests here on this track. At least I think they just really killed it. Hell of a tune. I will say this negatively for the record, I think there's a good handful of songs that I just kind of listen to in the background. I don't really concentrate on them that hard because they aren't that memorable to me, especially after I was like 5 or so listens deep. I just didn't really find them catching my ear, but they're still solid tracks. They're not necessarily ones that I would skip over because I like the continuity and pacing of 55. So overall, I don't think that there's really that many skippable tracks. There's a lot of amazing tunes here. I definitely recommend checking this out. I'm gonna give a 4 out of 5 to the debut album by the Knocks, 55. Well, there you have it, my thoughts on 55 by the Knocks. If you have not heard this album yet, definitely check the link to stream it on Spotify in the description down below. Thanks for hitting the like button on this video, subscribing to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. You can click directly below me to see a review to a similar artist or to the last review that I did. 2 annotations floating right there, and of course, find me on Twitter, and don't forget to check out that collaborative video that I told you about. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys very soon right here on ARTV.